Hey, welcome to Dave's Gaming Cave, and today we're playing B-17 Flying Fortress Leader. It's the World War II strategic bombing solitaire game by Dan Verston Games, 2nd edition, and I'm using part of expansion pack number 1. If you watched the setup video before this, then you would know about the airfields and those things. As you can see here, I have the blue or the bomber airfields. Some of them have special bombs that we can use, and other ones don't. It didn't cost me a thing. I have a fighter group that's also on its own. It's the red airfield. The dice tower, because this game's so big, is way over there, so I probably won't sweep over to show you the dice tower all the time. I will try to catch what we're doing here as much as I can. It's just, this is a pretty good size game and takes up a pretty big footprint. So I'm just trying to capture everything I can right here. During the gameplay, I'll try to give some close-ups of things that we're doing. So we're ready to begin. I have my spreadsheet on the computer set up. We've already set everything up, so we're ready to start. This is a 4-week campaign, can be up to 2 missions per week, depending on our makeup of our planes and the targets. So we're going to start. We've already, when I look at the weekly start, we've already received our weekly SO points or SO adjustments, and we're not going to purchase a renowned commander. So the next thing we do is one of the rules that I'm using, I'll show you real quick, is the Recon. So here in the optional rules, we use target intelligence, and I fly the target. So we will be going out and doing our intel. We do this just prior to the morning briefing, so it's just before we select our targets to attack. Part of the SO points I spent was to buy the Recon aircraft. I bought 2 of them at the higher level, so they cost me 8 points each to buy them, so it was 16 total. These are pretty neat. They give us a good chance of getting good recon on these targets. So we're going to pick 2 targets to go recon, and the 2 we're picking are going to be Schweinfurt. These are the mandatory targets that we have to knock out in this mission. I got a little glare right there, but Schweinfurt, which we need to target for recon, and then Regensburg. So these are our mandatories. We're going to try to get good intel on these right up front so we know what we're up against. So I place them here, and the first one we're going to roll for is Schweinfurt, so we're going to use it. 4 to 7 gives me a medium intel, and 8 or higher gives me high intel. And so the modifier, the +2, only helps if you already have medium intel. So we're going to roll a die, and here we go. And the die roll is 10. Wow. Right off the bat, that was for Schweinfurt. So I got a 10. So I got high intel. So we have high intel markers. This is a great help. It means -2 flak and +2 on my air to ground. So I now mark that up here with high intel. And now I'm going to roll for my intel for Regensburg. And let's hope that it's the same. Oops, got to get it in the dice tower. It's a 4, and a 4, as you can see, is medium. So he gets medium intel on Regensburg, which means 0 modifiers against me. So it takes away, it doesn't anything, but doesn't increase it for bad intel. Okay, so our first target of the day, we're going to select our targets. We have to select both of them if we're going to do 2 raids. I'm going to Schweinfurt, the ball bearing factory. I can take up to 5 bombers, which I'm going to do. And I have 2 bomber wings, so they're both getting assigned to this target. Even though I have 6 bomb groups in there, I can only take 5 of them. So this is what we're going to do. We'll place this on our target right here on the board with our modifier for high intel. to help me remember to make my modifications. If that's the only target we're taking, okay? And so we assign our groups to each mission. So we have this bomb group here, the second bomb wing. So we're taking these bomb groups, all three of these bomb groups right here. So we have the B-24, the 389th. He'll be the lead group, followed by the 100th, the 97th, and then I need two out of this wing here. So I'm taking, here's hoping, the 398th bomb group, and we're taking the 96th bomb group. Okay, so we have a full mission, and we're taking fighter escort. So the 20th fighter group is also going as high escort, which will keep them from having any out of the sun tactic used against them. Okay, so that's my groups. Next thing I do is I arm my bombers. Okay, in this mission, I have the Tech GB4 available to the 100th bomb group, and he's going to carry that. This is it. It's a weight rating of 4 tons, plus 2 air-to-ground modifier. It's got great hit results, but it cost me 4 SO points to use. So I put that down here in his bomb load, and the B-17s can carry 6 tonnage, so the other one he's taking is an incendiary. It's worth 2, and that's the 100. So I'll go ahead and mark off, consume the 4 points that they're using. Okay, the B-24 is going to take, he can carry 8 tons. So he's taken 1 incendiary and the M43s. So I'm going to try not to spend my SO points because I need to buy some M24s to get to Regensburg. So they're 2 each, so that's 2, 4, 6. 2. Oh, and here I grabbed the wrong bombs. I'll change them out. M43s. Here we go. That's his bomb load. Is right there. Okay. The other 3 planes are all carrying the same thing. M43s. Right here. 1, 2, 3. And then for these 2 groups, M43s. 1, I dropped 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 3. So that's my bomb loads. So everybody's carrying pretty much the same type other than the 100th, who's carrying that nice GB4. So that'll help us. Hopefully we get some big hits here on Schweinfurt. I don't want to have to go back a second time. Plus I'm taking my fighter escort. Okay, the chin turrets are already placed on the cards. The display mission, so Schweinfurt, again I'll show it to you. Schweinfurt is in hex 15, it's a range of 3. Okay, so we're going to fly out over the ocean, try to avoid Luftwaffe, I hope. We're going to turn in here, and that's where my escort has to return from, and then that's our target zone right there, and we'll go back the same route. So I'm not going to place markers going back the other way. If I was going back a different route, then I would do that, but for this I don't need to. Somewhere, and I didn't do it yet, Let me check my optional rule here. I'll show you this one too. Determine the weather. So we're going to roll for weather. Okay, so for each of the 4 sectors we roll, and I need to do my weather result. So we're going to roll a die for weather. Here we go. For each zone, I got a 6, which is default partly cloudy over UK. Now we come down here to zone 1. And it is a 6, it's partly cloudy. Zone 2 is a 3, it is mostly cloudy, which isn't going to affect us because we're not going into zone 2. And then zone 3 is stormy. Oh, no missions. So I can't go there. Okay. This is bad. Because, let's see, man, of all the zones, that's the one I didn't want to be stormy. Jeez, okay. So I cannot attack anything in that zone, so I have to change my target. See, this is where it affects you. Now everything else is set there. So I can do, I have a couple choices here. On the ETO map, yeah, we did that. Stormy, no missions can be run in that sector. You can delay the mission to the next day, allowing a weather reroll for a 6 SO point cost. So, if I spend 6 SOs, I can re-roll the weather in all the zones. So I have 14 available. That's what I'm going to do because I don't want to give up that target. So I'm going to mark 6 SOs off of here, and I'm going to re-roll my weather. So I'm taking all my weather back up. Postponed it a day. Here we go. Over the UK, we rolled a 7, which is, get my chart back out, partly cloudy, so no effect. Zone 1 is partly cloudy. Zone 2 is 4, is partly cloudy, and zone 3 is a 9, which is clear. Okay, so the storms moved out, and I'll have to change my response here. Is now clear. So we have a clear area in zone 3. So it cost me those valuable SO points, which for the game, for the campaign, they gave me 10 because I'm using this special rule. There, I used up 6 of them already. So you can see it happens to you pretty fast. Okay, we have to roll for the Luftwaffe response. And the Luftwaffe response is this commander, Yeshanek. Okay. A 10, they're all out, means as many bandits as they can scramble with and a range of 1 to us. 8 to 9 is high, a limit of 5 bandits, range of 1. Average is a limit of 4, but they only 0 range. And 1 to 3 is a poor, which is only 2 bandits can come after you. He has rockets and out of the sun, so he can cause me some issues here. So we're going to roll to see what his response is going to be. And it is a 3, which is poor. So we put poor on here. And poor is poor response, range 0, max 2. Okay. So that's good for us because they're not going to have a big response against us going into Schweinfurt, which is a break. Gives us a big break. One thing I want to mention too, while we're just before we get started moving everything, we have these cards, and I just want to make sure everybody understands, this isn't one plane on this card. This card represents 48 planes. So every time we show a hit to the squadron, that's 3 planes. So there's 48 represented by this card, not just one. And it can take up to 16 damage before it's eliminated. The whole group would be eliminated. Okay, same thing with the fighters. All right? Okay, so this is mission number 1. We're at the UK base, and now we can start moving. Okay, so we move to here, and there's no response because they don't have any range. And now we move here. This is where our escort's going to leave us after this turn. And we have to roll now. And I'm sorry, I should have done my target bound event card. So yeah, I got to make sure I follow my steps. Here we go. Follower. Increase Luftwaffe response by 1 level. So they just went from poor to average. So now they can have up to 4 fighter groups intercept me instead of 2. But they still have a range of 0, so it's only the ones that are right there. Okay. Luftwaffe Interception Bandit attacks. So now we're on the target bound event. So here we go. We have an interception here from this fighter base. So they're going to intercept. Their little counter goes, again, I'll show you. It's marked 1, 2, 3. If you're in the same hex, it only goes 1. This is for them to refuel because they're not flying very far away from their base. If it was one of these outliers, then it would be a 3, which would mean that they would have to rearm, fly back and rearm and refuel. So that gives us a break there. So I'm just looking at the Luftwaffe Response again, the target. Like I said, I haven't played this since October, so I just want to make sure I do this right. Okay, Luftwaffe Squadron Interception. So here's where I'm looking in the rules right here. The Luftwaffe Response is average or poor, then only Luftwaffe squadrons in the mission counters, hex, and bomber fighter groups. Okay. So if it's poor or average, only 1 Luftwaffe squadron attacks the mission group. If the Luftwaffe Response is higher all out, then 3. So only have to have 1 attack me right here. So I have them all in my trusty cup. And we mix them up. And we pull it. And it is a no bandit. All right. So no interception. So we got past that one. All right. Whew. Okay. So here my fighter group breaks off and they go home. My group counter goes back home, and now the bomber group is over target. So the first thing we get is the Luftwaffe Response. This goes back to its normal. And we have a Luftwaffe Response right here. Again, so we do our draw, and it is a Focke-Wulf 190 veteran. He's out of the sun, so he's going to get the modifier for that. And so we put him here on the track. And so now we find out which group he's going to attack. So again, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I didn't do a practice playthrough before this. I probably should have, but I chose not to. Okay. So for each bandit not intercepted, we roll a die and place the bandit counter under that group. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I roll this die. and it is a 4. And so I'm looking up here, way out here on the end, a 3 to 4, it attacks the second bomb group. So this is where it comes in, right here. So he's attacking the 100th. The guy's carrying my special bombs. Okay. Because he's in this, he gets 3 attacks on us, and the Out of the Sun gives him a +2 modifier. So he's coming again in against the 100th. So that's where these counters come in. They show us which attack phase they're on. 0, then it'll be 1, then it'll be 2. So this is the first attack. Okay. So they're coming in. He rolls his die. He's firing at the 100th. And he gets a +2. And it is a 3, makes it a 5. And a 5 is 1 hit. So the 100th takes their first damage marker onto them. He comes around for his next attack. Okay. I'm just checking. Oh, before he does, I get to fire back at him. So the 100th is air to air is +2. And we need, I gotta check and see, I think it is my defensive fire. Let me find it here. Okay, I found it. It's a 10. So the 100th, right here, he's a +2 on his air to air. So I roll. It's a 3. So 2 is a 5. Nothing happens. The bandit comes back around. He's firing again. He only gets the Out of the Sun the first time. He rolls. It's an 8. An 8 is 3 more hits. So I go from 1 to 4 now. So we now have 4 hits on us. And now we're firing. And this is a 9. +2 is an 11. They killed that one. So he shot down. I'm going to put it here so I remember to mark it for him. I don't think it matters, but he shot down that fighter group. Okay. Now we have flak. So we're going to have to roll to see what the flak is. Okay, we perform for each bomber group in the mission. Target has the flak section. So on our card over here, and I should have had a +3 on my Luftwaffe response, which I didn't do. Hopefully that was on the roll. Wouldn't have changed what we had. It was still average. So we're going to leave it. Okay. Has a flak section. Yep. So on flak, it is 6, 8, 10, 2 rolls. So that means 2 dice, 2 10-sided dice. They're looking for 6, 8, or 10. The flak is -2. Okay. And with my B-17s, there's an extra -3. So we'll just start with the B-24. So it's -2. And they get a 1 and a 7, which makes it a 5, is no damage, no hits. Here comes the 100. This will be -3. It's a 1 and a 5, no hits. Next up is the 97th. it's a 10 and an 8. So that makes it 7 and 5. So 7 is one hit on the 97th. So they take a hit right here. Right here is where we're at. Now we're swinging over. We've got 398. And it is a 9 and a 4. The 9 minus 3 is a 6. And a 6 is one hit. So he takes a hit. And finally we have the 96th. Minus 3 is a 1 and a 3. No hits. Okay. Now it's my turn. I get to drop bombs. All right. So we have an incendiary, the B-24s bombing first, and we have M-34s, M-43s, which hit. Get this down. I know it's glaring a little bit. It hits right here. So the incendiary, we're dropping it, and it needs a 7 or higher. We're a +1, +0 for the target, +2 because of our intel. So we're +3 to this die roll for the incendiary. 4 + 3 is a 7. The 7's a hit. So I hit it with the incendiary target. So we show that here, and then we resolve it later. We definitely got one of them to hit. Okay. Now he's dropping his other 3 bombs. We're going to roll 3 dice. He needs a 5 for 1 hit, a 7 for 2 hits. That's what the M43 is. Okay. So we got 3 dice, and we're +3. We got a 5, 5, and a 5. +3 makes them 8, so they get 2 hits. That's 6 hits. So that's a good result. So now we have 6 hits on there. We need 16 total. That's the way to start. Okay. All right, next coming in is the 100th. He's also has an incendiary. He's a -1, but I get a +1 for my intel, +2. So it makes it a +1. So we'll roll 1 die for the incendiary, and it is a 10. So he also hits it. So we got 2 hits on it, which doesn't matter as long as we got 1 hit on it. Okay. And now he's dropping this GB4. He's a -1 air to ground, +2 for this weapon, and +2 for that. So +4 -1, so it's a +3. 3, 5, 7, 9 are my hits. So here we go. It's an 8 + 3 is 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits for that 1 bomb. So that's the power of that bomb. That's beautiful. 4 more hits. That gives us, now we have 10 hits. So far, this first bomber wing is doing their job. B-24 dropped all his. Okay, next up is the 97th. The 97th is +1, 0, and +2. So +3, he has 3 of the M43s. So 5s gives us 1 hit, 7s gives us 2. +3. We got a 9, a 1, and a 1. 4, 4. Both of those missed. The 9 got us 2 hits. So, not as good. We're up to 12. We now have 12 hits on this target. And he dropped all his bombs. Okay, next up, three M43s from the 398. So they're dropping theirs. He's a zero, so it's +2. It's got 3 bombs, +2. We have a 2, a 9, and a 5. So that's a 4, a 7, and an 11. So that's 4 hits. So we just destroyed the target. That's 16 hits. We'll just go ahead and drop the other set of bombs now, but we got it. This is a great start. No matter what happened, that's a great start. Okay, so the 306 is dropping his bombs. He's a -1, and a +2 is a +1. We rolled a 10, a 6, and an 8, so that'd be 11, 7, and 8. He would have got 6 more hits. So we obliterated that target. We don't even need to do the incendiary. Those bombers went in there and they had good bomb results. Okay. So we bombed the target. I just need to check once I bomb that. Incendiary damage I didn't have to do. I think, let's see, this is a destroyed now. So I killed that one, that's great. So I killed that target, so it was worth it. Here, the incendiary, we'll set it right here. Okay. Okay, so we destroyed that target. Now we got to come home. All right. So we draw our homeward bound event card. And we get commander killed check after the mission for each group with a commander. So I don't have any of those, so this has no effect for us, luckily. And now our bomb group is headed home. This goes back, and we draw for the fighter. He gets 1. And it is a Focke-Wulf. He goes here. He's a front +4. So he uses the front tactics, which this commander does not do, so we don't apply that. So this Focke-Wulf is attacking. We got to see which group he's going to be attacking. So we roll, and it is a 10. A 10, he's attacking the tail end group, the 96th bomb group's getting attacked right here. He can do 2 passes, and I don't know why they did a 0, 1, 2, 3. It confuses me. This is the first pass. I'm starting with a 1. It just confuses me, that's all. Okay, he's attacking. He's a -1 to the die roll because of the durability of the B-17. So here we roll. He gets a 8, which makes it a 7. That's 2 hits on that. So they take 2 off of theirs. So they take a hit of 2. And now they return fire. They're a +2 on their air-to-air. And 2 + 2 is a 4. So we now go to the second combat. He's attacking again. He rolled a 4, which is a miss. And now we fire against him. +2. 5 is a 7, not good enough. And that's the end of his attacks. So he flies off. Okay. We now move back out to sea. They can't attack us, and we get back to our base. End of mission. So that's the end of that round. And now what I'll do is I'll have to go through on my spreadsheet, put in everybody's points. We got extra because we destroyed the base, and then see where that's at. We didn't have a second target to attack today, so that takes care of week 1. And so I'll show you the what we had for the spreadsheet. Sorry, my mind's like, what are you doing? All right, so be right back. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet. Everybody got 2 experience points because we destroyed the target. That was good. We also got 1 for the 100th extra because he shot down a bandit. So they gained an extra experience point there. And then you see the big jump in the 389th is because we destroyed that target. It earned us the Distinguished Unit Cross, which is worth an additional 5 experience points. So that's 7. Now promoted him. He was a skilled, and now they're veteran, so they went up. And then for the SO points, you can see that we were down to 8. I took -2 on that event because of the Schweinfurt cost us that at the beginning of each week. So that was one of the important reasons for going after that target. And then we had to spend 6 for the weather. And of course, I had 16 where I bought my Recon elements. So everything else is there. You can see Wing A and Wing B is the way they're set up right now. And now we're going into 1943 week 2. And I now have 30 SO points available. So at the beginning of week 2, we're going to draw a random B-24 group, and hopefully I'll get one. We'll add it to the Wing B, and we need 1 more week to get us a 3rd one. And when I get that 3rd one, I'll transfer one of these groups over to Wing A, and then we'll have them ready to go for Regensburg by the end of this month. In the meantime, I can go bomb either airfields or I can go bomb aircraft factories. So we'll see what we want to do there. Maybe we'll do 1 of each. Okay, so that's how we look right now. Okay, so just to wrap up week 1 and where we're at, you can see we had 2 damaged here. He can take a loss up to 6 before he becomes shaken at 7. 1 damaged here. He can take up to 5. 4 on the bloody 100th, so he took a little bit of a hit there. 7, he didn't lose anybody. They lost 1, which is really 3 planes. They took 1 damage hit there, and the fighter squadron, nothing. Because we shot down a fighter group, we moved this destroyed. So that's nice. If you can get all the way up to here, you can remove a squadron off of your out of that stuff that's attacking you all the time. So that's nice. The other thing that happened was here on this unit, they received the Distinguished Unit Cross, and so that was for the 389th, the B-24 group. So they now went to veteran, and they became a fast unit, and their air-to-air is +4. Their air-to-ground is still +1. So that's what really helped them there. Now they're a fast unit, so they'll be able to defend before they get shot at by the fighters if they get attacked. Okay, so that's the end of week 1. We'll set up for week 2. We have a couple preliminary steps while we draw our B-24 group that we're going to add and spend our points, and then we'll select our targets and do all those things again. So I'll see you back here for week 2. Thanks. And if you like it, subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, thumbs up. Be appreciated. Thanks.